God, it's been 10 years now, but I'd still have his back tomorrow, and he'd still fight anyone who tried to touch me. Would you take me back when we were just kids? Weren't scared of getting older, 'cause no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up and make new ones, but the truth is there's nothing like old friends. 'Cause you can't make old friends. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this guitar lesson for Old Friends by Ben Rector. Ben Rector is one of my favorites, maybe my favorite, so I'm very happy to do this lesson. Oddly enough, it's the first one of his that I've ever done, which is very surprising to me, but I'm happy to start now. So yeah, anyway, you start off, put the capo on the 1st fret, then there are a bunch of chords you need to know. The first chord is G, and you play that by putting your middle finger on the 3rd fret of low E, index on the 2nd of A, ring on the 3rd fret of B, and pinky on the 3rd of high E. The next chord is D, and you play that by putting your index finger on the 2nd fret of G, your ring on the 3rd of B, and then middle on the 2nd of high E. The next chord is E minor, and you play that with middle finger on the 2nd fret of A, ring on the 2nd of D. And the last chord for the verses is C, and you play that with ring finger on the 3rd fret of A, middle on the 2nd of D, and index on the 1st of B. Now there are 2 more chords you need to know for the chorus, and the first one's B minor, and you play that with index finger on the 2nd fret of A, ring on the 4th of D, pinky on the 4th of G, and middle on the 3rd fret of B. And then one last chord for the song, and that's A minor. You play that with middle finger on the 2nd fret of D, ring on the 2nd of G, and index on the 1st of B. Alright, we got all the chords, now let's just learn the strumming pattern. So there are a couple different strumming patterns throughout the song. The first one's for the verse. We're going to read the measures like 8th notes, which means 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And for the verse, you just strum down on 1 for the first 3 chords. And then for the C, at the end of the phrase, you actually do an upstroke on the end after 1 for that measure. So it goes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. It kind of jumps up right after the 1 there. And they do that throughout the song, so that's going to be a part of all of these strumming patterns. My God, it's been 10 years now. So yeah, that's the verse, and that takes you into the chorus. And for the chorus, I guess for the first chorus, it's kind of played a little slower, so really you can just do a downstroke for every measure. And the way it works is instead of that up thing only happening on the 4th set of the, we'll call it a 4-measure phrase, it's actually on the 2nd and the 4th. So the first measure is a downstroke on 1, and then the second measure, now it's an upstroke on the end after 1, then down on 1, and then an upstroke on the end after 1 again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how you play along with the song, but if that gets a little too complicated, you can always just do a downstroke on 1 for every measure. It'll sound the same, it just won't match the song. So yeah, something you can do for later choruses when it gets more energetic, you can actually play it with a lot more strumming involved, even though those 2, the 1 and the end after 1, that's still there. But now what I'm doing is I'm just doing a steady down up on every other part of the measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You emphasize those 2 really by the change of the chords, And I'm also putting a little bit of emphasis on the 3 to give it a bit of a natural feel to it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So yeah, now you know the strumming pattern for the verse, for the soft chorus at the beginning, and then kind of the harder choruses later, and that's the whole song. So let's just get right into it. My God, it's been 10 years now, but I'd still have his back tomorrow, and he'd still fight anyone who tried to touch me. Would you take me back when we were just kids? Weren't scared of getting older, 'cause no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up and make new ones, but the truth is there's nothing like old friends. 'Cause you can't make old friends. Alright, that's the whole song. Again, apologies for my voice. It's both below my range and above my range, so nothing I can do. If you guys have any more questions about the song, please let me know down below. Always happy to help. And make sure to subscribe so you catch all the lessons to come. Really close to finishing off the originals. Got a whole album, 10 songs this time. It's been years. We're very excited to put them out, Olivia and I are. We've been working on these for probably 3 years now. And I love every single one of them. I'm super excited to show them to you. They're so fun, they're heartfelt, and it's been a long time. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks, guys.